So if you're wanting to get into business, if you're following me for kind of my growth as my business since I just started out this year, another great point that I wanted to bring up today and talk a little bit about, and it's something that I had to struggle with for quite a few months until I could kind of reshape my thought process and perception on these things, is if you go into business for yourself, you can't or should no longer think like an employee. And what I mean by this is, when you're running your own business at this point in time, you're going to put so much more into it, especially when you first start. You almost got to kind of think of it like a baby or an infant. You got to pour so much into it, and you're not really going to get so much out of it as you've put into it. It's not an equal kind of thing. And what I mean by that is, when you're an employee, every hour you work, as soon as you punch in and as soon as you punch out, that's when you're getting paid. And then you go home, you go sleep, you go hang out with your family. You forget all about it till the next day when you gotta show up and you gotta start working again. When you're your own business, it's not that way. One, if you allow it, it will consume you all the way, 100% of the way. So from the moment you wake up till the time you go to sleep, you'll be thinking, problem solving, especially when finances get low. But on top of that, if you let that take over your life and don't really rein it in, learn to shut off, you also got to realize that a majority of the work up front is going to be networking and getting the work, or planning the work, or making the quote for a job that someone wants to do for you. And that was something that I struggled with. So I can only imagine someone else that's wanting to get into business or have just started getting into business are going to have that same struggle. Is you got to learn that when you're not working, or how should I say it? When you're not getting paid, you still have to work, versus being an employee, you work, you get paid. What I mean is, getting the job is what pays you. And when you quote a job, that also has to be involved in your pricing for the job, is all that extra time that built up to that. So what you have to be aware of is there's so much more that goes into it. Today is a perfect example for me. I have not done any work that I'm getting paid for, but I have been working all day. I've been running around trying to get steel pricing. I've been trying to get designs for another project that I've got coming up. I've also been in contact with other contractors on getting them to come out there, do the other aspects of the job to help pour concrete foundations and help install some of this stuff, lining up where I'm going to get all this material from, how I want to build it. I've got to, obviously, like I said, design the project. This is all things that I've been getting and trying to gather up just for the design work and the quote of how much it's going to cost me to have these others come out and help me install and put the footwork down for what I'm going to build. And also, I need to have all my ducks in a row for the design is all approved, that the person that's buying the project, I guess you'd say, or the one that's wanting me to do the project, signs off on the design, so I'm then able to go forward. So I'm actually not going to get paid for this until I've built the bridge that I'm working on right now for this particular design, if he wants to go ahead and go forward with it. And also all this other stuff that's coming into play. So in your quote or in your bid for doing this, you have to remember the time that you put into it that was not directly related to your job. Specifically, if you guys are following me for welding or a welding shop, that's what you got to remember. I've preached about it a lot of times, and I'm going to continue preaching about it. 20% of what I do is actually welding. The rest of it is so much more business, marketing, networking, getting the jobs, getting things in the door, things that don't pay. So make sure you're paying yourself, or you're quoting the job properly based off of how much effort you've put into to get the job. So when people actually come forward and have a job and you quote them, they won't ever know it unless they've been doing business a long time, but they're also having to pay you for just above and beyond a cut hourly rate of exactly how long you worked on it. If I worked, particularly on this one, it's going to be about a 25-foot bridge. If they want me to build a bridge and it takes me 30 hours to build this bridge, they're not paying me 30 hours times my rate. I'm going to be giving them a quote that's actually involved with everything, including the time it took for me to get this whole package together and design the bridge itself. All the things that I'm not technically getting paid for right now, but when it comes time to pay for the whole project being done, it will then be covered. So just, kind of think of it a little bit differently than before, is you're doing a lot of upfront to get paid later if you get the job. Sometimes you don't, and you've just put in a lot of work and don't get the job. So you can't really look at it as every hour worked is always $1 that comes along with it like an employee does. It's more, every hour worked is furthering you in your craft, furthering you in your business, and just making you that much better. So the next time something comes around that's similar to it, you've already had this all in mind, and it takes you less and less time to prepare for the job. So I hope you guys I hope this helped you out today, guys. I've been running like 100 miles an hour. I'm sorry, I'm a little wore down right now. But I hope you guys have a great day. I will talk to you tomorrow. There will be plenty more to talk about, I'm sure. I got a lot of things going on, a lot of ideas hitting me. If you guys have something that kind of just got spurred from me talking, or things that have been going on in your guys' life right now that you're curious about how it applies to welding or a mobile welding business, go ahead and hit me up, throw it in the comments below, or send me a message however you want to on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you want to get a hold of me. Just go ahead and do so. Ask the questions. I'd love to help out, and I'll try to answer them if I can on these videos. Again, you guys have a great one. I'll talk to you later.